All right, hey guys, happy Thursday to everybody. Finalized our game plan install today with Red Zone, another area like I talked about last week. I think is going to be really important. You know, anytime you're playing a team that has 88 plays and puts up 40 points a game like Oregon does, that red zone is going to be critical. It's going to be touchdowns instead of field goals, and you got to look to try to steal a possession. You got to look for possible 4-down territory when you step into that red zone, and we went through those situations today. Also finalized some last things, which I think is going to be really critical in this game, is special teams. You know, we have a dynamic returner, but when you look at them also, they have two, which I feel in Charles Nelson and Tony Brooks James. I think both kids, when they touch it, you hold your breath. So we spent a little bit extra time on special teams in the return game also today. Injury report wise, the only guy that I think is just maybe completely out for the game right now is Lockett. Justin and Seth are trying as hard as they can to see if they can get back. It'll be more game time decision there, but I don't, just being honest, I don't think Locke's going to make it for this game. With that, I'll take any questions that you have.
How much better are you in the red zone now, do you think, and why?
I look at last week and it went perfect. I think we were down 7 times and we scored 6 touchdowns, and I thought that was a separation. That's what I talked to the team about today. Is you put yourself in those situations against a team that can put 40 plus points up. It's critical. That's a 4-point difference every time you put that field goal team on the field. So I've already talked to T about as soon as we hit the 35, you got to get in your mind if it's 3rd and medium, it could be possible 4-down territory. So that obviously that alters your play call a little bit when you got 2 downs.
At the beginning of the year, it looked like this schedule is going to be maybe the toughest in the nation. How does the way it shaped out compared to your expectations coming in?
I think anytime you play the Pac-12, I think you got a very tough schedule. I told you against when we're playing Oregon, I see a team that you can't tell yourself they're 3-5. I mean, they play a Nebraska team that's in the top 25 and lose by 3 points. They play a Colorado team that's in the top 20 and lose by 3 points. They play Cal, which is a good football team, and they go to a double overtime. This team could be just as easily 6-2. I look at the other teams that we're playing. Pac-12 right now is very, very competitive, and we've beat up on each other a little bit. We're playing good football teams, and it's really, to me, going to be really proven of where you're at the end of November. That's the way it is. They remember what you do in November, and we put ourselves in a position to contend. Now we've got to go out and do our job.
It seems like Washington's got a little penalized in the college football rankings because I guess the perception of Stanford and Oregon is that they're on more of a down year than they've had. Do you think that's fair?
I think right now there's so much football left to be played. I mean, you look 4 weeks from now, the whole landscape could change. I think for Washington and teams like ourselves, you take it 1 week at a time, because the polls right now mean really nothing to you. You're more worried about the opponent that you have for that week and having a great November, so you can do some special things in December. And I know Coach Peterson's probably doing that up at Washington. I know we're doing it here.
Justin Herbert is like Sam. He's a freshman, and you played Jalen Hurts earlier this year. He was a freshman. Why do you think freshman quarterbacks are able to come in and play right away now, or maybe 10 years ago it wasn't the same?
I think, one, the development of what we're doing quarterback-wise in today's time. You look around in high school, there's so many 7-on-7 camps that go on during the summer, so many opportunities to be able to pitch and catch. There's so many developed kids that come out and further ahead, and it's really a matter of can they fit in your system and learn the system, how quickly they do. Some kids can, and some kids it takes a little bit longer. In Sam's case and in Justin's case, obviously they stepped on the field and bam, it was easy for them. But I think in today's time, the way these guys are trained by not only their high schools, what they're doing over the summer with all the camps. So a lot of them in high school have their own personal trainers they're working extra with. In today's time, there's just a lot more work put into that position.
Do you think schools do anything to kind of facilitate them to be able to play right away? Like,
are you talking about high schools or
college? Like with scheme-wise?
I think a lot of times with the offenses that are nowadays are probably a little bit more simpler than the I right Z short A42 Tom Y shallow X in and all the verbiage that you had to say in the huddle. Now you're getting a signal from the sideline, one word signal, and that's the play. So there may be a little bit more simplicity that's going into offenses today that's allowing them to play faster also.
guys didn't get any carries last game, but obviously now with the injuries, what have you kind of told him this week, or how have you prepared him for his larger role?
Yeah, it's absolutely. We talked early in the week about, he goes out and he makes some nice plays at Arizona, and then last week the other two kids just got hot and were rolling, and talked to him about, man, you never know when your opportunity is going to come. You got to keep preparing, keep preparing like you're going to be the starter, and then you look up and it's one play, and all of a sudden you get a twisted ankle by said, and you're looking at it and go, okay, I'm probably getting half the reps in this game. I got to be ready. So he's prepped every week. He's really treated it like a pro. He's had a great week of practice, and if it's his time, I know he'll do a great job like he did in Arizona.
If you guys need Ronald to get like 25 carries this game with injuries, is he more prepared to do that now than he was like in September?
Yeah, I think the way he's progressed from day one here till now, he's a more complete player. And you watch the situations he was put in, even in last game. You wouldn't have seen that last year. From having the ability now to from pass protection on third down to catching balls out of the backfield. Everybody knows he can run, but he's a more complete player now, and a kid that can touch the ball 20 to 25 times a game. He's good for that easily.
So he's an every down back now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do one more.
Coach, what are some keys for you guys to keep your home dominance, especially against Oregon?
Yeah, I think the first thing that strikes me when you play a up-tempo, fast-tempo team that has 88 plays, it starts with third down efficiency, getting them off the field and you controlling the ball offensively to see how many plays you can get. It really helped us with Cal. The second thing is trying to steal a possession, trying to get a turnover to take it away from a very high-powered offense while protecting the football yourself. And then the final is score points, and don't let your foot off the gas pedal, because this team can come back in a hurry. So if you do keep up, you need to keep that momentum and keep going, and never look back, because this team can put 40 on anybody.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.